I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I live my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
Back live for the Wavy Hour.
Whoop whoop.
Shout out to our buddy Billy for coining that phrase there. Let me share this here, just to let people know that we're back.
So, maybe share for some of the newer viewers, especially for myself not being. Tell us what the idea behind the Wavy Hour is.
Okay. So Billy and I, when we used to do the show at it was just Billy and I, and we were over on I was over on New York in Old Town, here nor there though. we did a 1 hour live web show every Sunday. Well, we started drinking a little bit more, and we started to notice that like it was tough to cut off at 1 hour.
Right.
And why do I not have a chat here? And so we would go over. Mm-hmm. Well, then, Billy used to have to always pee all the time. So he would get up mid-show and just, like, go pee. And so I would like, say, well, why don't we just take a pee break and then come back and do more show and see how long we can go, And Billy's in the chat. He said, we got drunk. So then, Billy, he's really into like, he would work. He worked with some kids, at the Hobby Lobby job, and they know all the slang, and they'd say, let's get wavy instead of drunk. So Billy was like, oh, we'll just call it the wavy hour because we were fucking drunk, And he's in the chat right now. So it's kind of funny.
Some of my favorite times on this show have been wavy hour moments where, like, not inadvertently, but it just, every time we would have one of those like crazy wavy hours, whether it was just all of us drank too much, maybe some of us drank before the show, or we're at like a live show and they're giving us free stuff. I always say the stupidest shit when I'm drunk. And then the next day, I know we had a fun wavy hour when I get messages that are like, what does this mean?
My first time on the show in the wavy hours when you chopped me.
Oh, yeah, I chopped you. Yeah. I do remember chopping you.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. I remember that. That was fun. So that's kind of what the wavy hour is about, if you're wondering. If all the kids at home are wondering. We actually have a shot here. We're going to do a shot of the Safe House double white lightning whiskey. Actually, what's Holly doing?
I'm doing the green chili vodka.
She's doing the green chili vodka, and I'm doing their house vodka.
Yeah, so we're gonna do one real quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's to a good wavy hour.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah, that's tough. Ooh.
That's the ticket. Yeah.
That's a punch right in the gut. No, I'm just kidding. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
They make some good stuff.
Yeah, like it was funny because like I don't know if we got to tell this on the show. So we got this stuff like right before the show last Sunday. James and I go over there to pick it up.
And we didn't know that we needed to like bring a bag basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Billy says I remember falling backwards in the hallway so drunk. I think that I don't know if he's talking about at the New York house or at the Rosemont house.
I think that's whenever he was working with kids at Hobby Lobby.
That's when he's working kids at Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
The underage kids.
Oh, you remember that time I knocked myself out at your house?
Yes, I do. So we go over to the Safe House, and the guy Chris, who's the distiller, it's really interesting. I always love working with people, and you can tell they love what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris from Safe House Distilling, he does. He's just like, oh, like he does that thing where he's like, oh, let me show you this. Oh,
Yeah.
let me show you that. And at one point, he's like, comes over and he opens this refrigerator and he pulls out like the big 1 pound Ziploc bag, and it's all orange slices. Not orange slices, apple slices. Sorry, apple slices.
Okay.
And he's like, did you ever do our apple pie vodka? And I'm like, no. And he's like, well, these apple slices were soaked in it. And like Smiley and I each like take one and eat it. And it was like doing a shot of fucking vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
maybe more.
We walked back. We're all, I think that apple did it, dude. Whoa.
Kicked me right in the man. I got here, we had technical difficulties and I was trying to work through it, but I was a little buzzed.
I was talking about it with somebody about how I feel like alcohol really misses out on the opportunity to have edibles.
Yeah.
Because if anybody's, smoked, the experience you get from edibles is a very different experience.
It's very different.
And it takes a little bit of time. And I was like, if I could get that type of experience with alcohol through an edible, that would be really interesting, where it's like, okay, in an hour and a half, I'm going to be pretty drunk, but it's just going to take some time for...
Oh, man.
It's just a slow burn.
Well, okay. So that takes me back to my like college days,
Jungle juice.
I'm not shy that I was in a fraternity. So like we would, when you were poor, it was always like, what is the cheapest, most alcohol we can do, you know?
The bang for your buck.
Yeah, and there were times where we
Everclear.
would collect money and you would have like $50 between everybody. So you would, get a cooler or a trash can.
Yep.
You would fill it full of fruit. You would basically get as much Kool-Aid as you possibly could get. And you would fill up the trash can with Kool-Aid and fruit, and then just buy like 1 or 2 fifths of Everclear and just pour it into the fucking thing. Everclear
Jungle
or vodka.
juice.
Is that jungle
Jungle
juice?
juice.
Jungle juice.
Yeah.
So then that would sit all day, or half the day, and people would drink on it. By the nighttime, people were getting fucked up on it.
Oh yeah.
By like 2 or 3 in the morning, no liquid left.
Just
so then
the
it would be,
fruit.
and the best thing to put in there was like, orange slices, grapes.
Yeah.
Grapes were
Yeah.
good.
Watermelon.
Watermelon, grape, cantaloupe. So like, cantaloupe probably wouldn't be very good, but stuff like that, stuff that soaks it up. And you get to the bottom, then you just take your cup and you filled it with the fruit.
Wow.
And if you could finish that
it messes
cup, a
you
red
up.
Solo cup of that shit, you'd be lit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just lit fucking up, man.
2 different kinds of grapes, orange slices, and God, there's another one.
And
we
it's
used
always
to put in
best
there.
if someone worked at the grocery store so you
Yeah.
could just steal it.
Right.
Or, that's wrong.
It
but,
doesn't. It does.
But
it doesn't
take,
matter
like,
if it's
the-
Grab
off.
the ugly fruit.
Or
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
stuff they're about to get rid of.
Yeah.
That's what we would do.
Right.
So speaking of like edible things, the first time I ever ate edibles was with stupid Kurt Fletcher in Denver. He told me to only eat one edible, and I hadn't partook in the pots for years and years and years.
In the marijuana.
In the marijuanas, the reefer. And so I ate one, and I was expecting, like, when you smoke, it hits you pretty quick.
Yeah.
And it didn't. So I then ate 5 more.
Oh, good lord!
And by the time it hit me, we got to the venue, and I literally... I met one of my heroes, Troy Baxley, and then I went on stage and I thought that I was talking, and I wasn't. Because,
Wow.
fun thing to find out, when I'm super high, I think I'm talking, and I am not.
That's pretty awesome. They're asking in the chat, what's Ray's epic drunk night? I don't know what that means exactly. Like, what is like? I don't know if that means like, have you ever had an epic drunk night? Or I don't know if that means like, what's a night where you're like, this is gonna fucking go down.
I don't know. I guess I'd have to see who asked that question, but I can't think of any like particular epic drunk nights that I've had. But who asked the question?
Billy.
Billy. Oh, okay. Well, me and Billy have never had an epic drunk night. So
No.
That doesn't help much. But I guess the epic ones I don't generally remember. Which
Really? He said because Billy's now on keto, so he only drinks Cabs and Reds now.
Oh.
okay,
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Wow.
good for him because keto is a very difficult.
It's
diet.
hard.
Yeah.
Hi, Billy, by the way. Love you.
Hey,
miss
Billy.
you.
Yeah.
I think my most epic drunk night, just since we're on the topic, was St. Patrick's Day, my 30th birthday week.
Oof. Is this the taco fighting?
Yeah, I got so wasted. I had gone to my friend's band's show during the day, and we drank a ton of Double White.
Ooh.
And then I drank out of this bottle of Jameson all day.
Just a random bottle? Just
No,
just
somebody.
Street Jameson?
No,
Yeah.
somebody had one. But anyway,
okay.
so we were like passing it around, and it was my 30th birthday week, and I had just lost like my favorite job ever. So I was just like getting wasted. And by the end of the night, I decided I wanted tacos, and I was at my friend's place downtown. I leave, go to get tacos, don't remember that. I had a picture with my friend Sammy, who I ran into, and then I woke up the next morning and I had a dislocated hip and
jeez.
broken ribs. And when I had come back to the apartment, the box of tacos was like all mashed and wrecked.
Yeah. Nice.
We're pretty sure that I fell down the stairs at Anodyne.
Wow.
I've
But
done that.
oh, it's not a fun experience,
Oh,
I
fuck
guess.
no.
I don't
It really
remember
isn't.
it.
No.
Obviously, I don't remember it, thank goodness. But we have a theory also that maybe I got in a fight with somebody over tacos, and it makes me sound badass because I still had them when I got home. So I won.
Nice.
But I think that's the most epically drunk I've ever been, because when I went to the emergency room or the urgent care the next day, the doctor was like, I don't believe you that you don't remember what happened. And I was like, I don't think
'cause
you
the broken rib.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think you understand how drunk I can get, sir.
I think you underestimate the power of alcohol.
Because I don't remember breaking my ribs at all.
Yeah.
I woke up the next day and just thought I had liver disease.
Does he not know that? Yeah, does he not know that alcohol is a depressant, and by that it also depresses pain?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But he said that he
The
just
pain in my heart.
didn't believe me. And I was, the pain, it depresses the pain in my
Pain
heart.
I have a pretty high alcohol tolerance, mainly because of my size. But I do find out that I have a really high alcohol tolerance until I hit this like wall.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
go
yeah.
from like buzz to wasted
Yep.
really fast. But to get me buzzed, it actually takes quite a bit. And we were in Mexico City, and we were trying to figure out, like, okay, like, how much can we get, like, until we can get Ray drunk? So we just kept, like, doing, like, shots, and we kept getting more and more. And it was about, like, a dozen where I was like, oh, man, I'm pretty wasted. And then, like, next thing I know, I don't really remember, like, a whole lot, but I know that I'm in a cab, and I'm, like, telling Valeria, my girlfriend, that they should put her face on money. And then, I'd bought some cookies from a gas station, and I was like, I got these cookies for us. They're galletas.
Wow. So Billy's asking now, moving to downtown, what's your go-to place to go to, Chris? That'd be easy. That's Founders. Mm-hmm. So Founders is like a speakeasy. I have a funny story about it from Thursday. So it's a speakeasy down below the El Rey. You have to have a password to go in, but it's easy. You just go to foundersabq.com.
Or their Instagram.
Or just be on the show. They'll
So
just,
yeah, so
just wave you in.
right. So they kind of let me do pretty much anything I want to do. I love going there. I mean, they won't let me go behind the bar and mix drinks or anything, but like
Just short of.
that's just because you don't have a server's license.
no, and they're fucked up in the way that they get me to message me a picture of the Bud Light seltzer.
Oh, yeah. I just
And
saw
I go,
those.
and I go, damn it, because like I love the seltzers. I love everything about them. I love that I don't feel bloated when I drink them. I love all that. I think I love the taste. So I go down there, and the
Wait, I think I love the taste.
I love the taste.
Okay.
It was
the-
pretty good.
Yeah. So here's what happened. So, okay, little backstory. It's now kind of become semi-legendary that we did the Natty Light flight down there. We did a flight of all the natural light seltzers.
Yes.
So Thursday night, we did a flight of the Bud Light seltzers. There's a picture on my Instagram. Go to @10drink. You'll see it there. And there's all the Bud Light seltzers, all four. Like they have, was it dark cherry, lemon lime, mango, and strawberry, right?
Which one was your favorite?
So they said they're expensive. They're $21 for a 12-pack. Of course, my favorite was the mango. I love mango. I love the mango White Claw. I love the mango of that. So we get this. So he's pouring all these seltzers into like these really nice glasses and serving them up. And this dude is from like Tampa, Florida, sitting next to me, and he's just like watching this, and he's just like, because it's a really like kind of high-dollar establishment.
Yeah.
Really,
Right.
it can be. And we're over here doing a fucking Bud Light seltzer flight. And we're all wasted, like everyone down the whole bar. And so we end up doing it. I love it. So then last night, my friend Tammy, she has this awesome studio behind her house, and she has like a projector. She has a karaoke setup, and now someone gave her a Coleman blow-up hot tub.
I saw that.
Very cool.
So
What?
So we went over there last night, and we were laying in the hot tub watching movies. And of course, I brought the Bud Light Flight and all the flavors, and we all did. We did the flights out of paper cups with the Bud Light. So we're like in the hot tub, just like drinking Bud Light seltzer, which is like
Classy.
as classy as you can get. Watching One Crazy Summer and The Legend of Billie Jean.
Nice.
Wow.
And then we all sang karaoke.
Perfect.
So that's my epic drinking night right there.
That sounds fantastic.
It was pretty
Yeah.
fantastic. That was last night. I come home. So here's how drunk I was. I brought the meat and cheese plate home, and it was like the one you get at the store that's prepackaged. But someone had got the fancy one with the olives and left it open. And at one point, like in the car, it fell off the seat. So all the olive juice went all over everything.
Oh, man.
Oh no.
So I was like, damn it. Oh, well, throwing that away.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna eat late night like charcuterie, yums.
Yum yums.
Damn it. Oh well.
So my Valentine's Day.
Ooh, yes.
Valentine's
Let's talk
Day just
about
passed.
this.
Yeah.
Started out quite unconventional, and
Okay.
it took a sharp turn from where I thought it was going to go. So early last week, my fridge stopped dispensing water. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with it, so I called a repair guy to come take a look, because after I shook it and it didn't start working, I was like, oh, that's about all I can do.
Was it the filter?
No, it's not the filter, unfortunately. I was really hoping that it
Yeah.
was. Yeah. There's something clogged in the line, and it's clogged inside the door.
Oof.
And yeah, so don't know exactly what's going on. But so I leave work to go meet the repair guy over at my house, and he's like pulling out my fridge. He's like looking at stuff, and then some guy in a high-vis vest comes and he's knocking at my door, and I go, and it's a guy from Comcast, and he's
Oof.
like, hey, I'm glad you're here. We've been doing work in your backyard, and your dog is bleeding.
so they're just double teaming you, man.
Yeah, so I'm like,
wow,
what the
man.
hell? Okay, so I'm like, well, let me go take a look. So I go out there, and like I open the door, and sure enough, like my dog's foot is like covered in blood, and like it looks like she caught her dew claw on something, and it just like ripped the claw, and she's just like pouring blood everywhere. So I'm just like, oh geez. So then I tell the
dogs.
repair guy, I'm like, yeah, the dog is not gonna die, but I'm definitely gonna have to take it to the ER. And on Comcast, like, yeah, we have a ladder back there. She's super friendly. And I'm like, what the fuck? Comcast is just in my backyard, and he's like been like playing with the dog. So I had to call Valeria. Valeria comes over. She has to leave work to come take the dog to the emergency room while I'm dealing with the repair
Refrigerator.
guy and Comcast in the backyard. And then I start to get really bugged about this, because I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure the only thing that she would have snagged her foot on is potentially either their ladder or something, like because they're actually in the backyard themselves. Comcast never reached out to me to get permission to go in the backyard. So I started telling Valeria that like that's kind of fucked up, because what if our
Because
dog
it
wasn't
is.
friendly?
Right.
Yeah.
It would have attacked him, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What if she had bit them, and then we would have been at fault for it? And we started like doing a little bit of research. Valeria is an attorney, and come to find out, we would have been completely screwed, and they would have been in their in their rights to be there. Comcast has a utility easement, usually built into your everything with purchasing the land, where they can pretty much show up to your property at any time without permission, and they will try to let you know that they're there. But if you're not home, they'll just go in your backyard.
So, like, they could also,
they only
like-
need permission to get into your house. That's it.
I could tell you Comcast stories for hours.
I mean, the thing that scares me as a dog owner, right, is let's say my little Mitchell is out in the yard, and they open the gate, they come into the yard, and he gets out.
Right.
Like, they're not gonna care.
No.
They're not gonna like make sure my dog is safe, because they don't love this little guy, or what if he gets super scared and like snaps at them or something, which is a thing dogs do. It doesn't mean they're a mean dog. It just means, hey, I'm smaller than you and I'm afraid of you. And that bothers me, that they just like came in your yard.
Right.
And your dog is out there, because most dog owners, if somebody like that tells us they're coming, we're going to put them away. We're going to make sure they're safe. We're going to make sure they're okay.
This is why I own cats.
So,
And not even in my own name or in the same address.
Yeah.
so I lived on New York, like I was talking about earlier. In the job I had, I actually worked from home, so I had to use my computer.
Yeah.
So it was a warranty business. So like I would get the warranty work at home, and then I would go out and do it, and then I would come home. One day I come home, and there's a fucking piece of paper on the door that's like an ad for Comcast. And I laugh, and I go, I already have Comcast. What the hell would I need that for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go inside, internet's not working. Go outside, cable has been completely chopped from the house.
Wow.
What?
So somebody fucked up, didn't show that I had Comcast. So they went in my backyard and thought I was stealing it. So they just cut it and walked away, stick a thing on my door. Man, if I could have been there when they did that, I'd have beat that dude's ass.
Right.
Here and there. So I call him on the phone and I'm like, yes, your Comcast guy came in my yard and cut my cable. And they're like, well, how do you know that? I go, well, he left a coupon on the door to sign up for the service. And they were kind of like, oh. And I was like, yeah.
Shit.
So somehow he thought I didn't have it and chopped my fucking cable.
Right.
And they're like, oh, man, we're really sorry. So we'll have somebody come and fix that tomorrow. I was like, tomorrow? I need it today.
Yeah.
Because I do work. I work from home.
Right.
And I'm like pissed. I was way more pissed than the way I'm talking now. Finally, I'm like, you know what, dude? How about if I go to the store and I buy the ends myself and I fix it myself? And the guy's like, well, I'm not telling you that you can't do that, but you shouldn't do that. And I'm like, fair enough. And I went and did that.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
man.
they came the next day and fixed that shit. I was pissed. That's like one of the mild Comcast stories I have.
Right.
Whoa.
So we're having internet issues in our house this week. And I just think, I wasn't necessarily going to talk about it, but, maybe I should.
It's the wavy hour. Go for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, as everybody knows, we moved to Rio Rancho.
Boo.
I say it every time just so you guys do that. But so we love our new house. We love everything about it. But when we left, we couldn't get Xfinity to our new house because they don't have
No.
Xfinity
lines.
Because it's
out
not a
there.
real city.
They don't have
We
lines
are
here.
literally 200 feet from their last line. So we're like, fuck. All
100
right.
feet from civilization.
I know. It's just 200 feet. So I even was like, can you guys just add 200 feet of cable? Is that a thing?
I'll
And
go buy 200 feet.
I know. And they had the same reaction Smiley did. The lady's like, I wish we could, ma'am. I wish we could do that for you. Which is the kind of customer service I am used to, where they're just super nice, even when you say something stupid like that, And so... And we had never had a problem with them. Our internet was always great. If we had a problem, they fixed it right away, whatever. So we move. We don't know where to go. The advertisements are crazy. When you Google internet providers, it's a sea of just bullshit.
And they're not real, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I call a company and they can get it done the next day. And I'm in school, so I'm like, okay, perfect. Because I don't want to drive because at the time I was driving from Rio Rancho to my new apartment, or my old apartment, to do schoolwork, which was 45 minutes. You know what I mean? So I was kind of desperate. So we get our new internet. He's like, I can get it started tonight. It'll be ready to go because the people who lived in the house before us had Sparklight. I was like, dope. All right. So our internet is just slow and laggy and horrible and all this stuff. They charge for data overages. Our first bill comes. It is twice what our bill was supposed to be. The second month, it was about 4 times what it was supposed to be.
Damn.
And so I just said, fuck it, not paying that. So I now have to wait until Tuesday to have internet. And it feels like I'm in the dark ages.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's awful.
I watched the docu. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
So
Smiley.
I have this thing. It's called a phone,
Yeah.
and it has internet.
Oh, yeah, I do the hotspot thing. But, I mean, that's not... here's the
Not
thing
fast
that's
enough,
sad. My hotspot is better for streaming than my internet that they wanted me to pay $200 for. That is a problem.
I don't even use the internet at my house. I use my hotspot because I have unlimited.
Nice. What were you saying?
Well, so this documentary that I watched recently, it was kind of showing some of the shady practices of the cable companies, which I'm sure is even dirtier than what they were showing. But a lot of these places have non-compete clauses, and it's meant to prevent there from being a monopoly. But what it's doing is it's actually creating a monopoly or a biopoly where it's oh, cool, there's competition. There's 2 companies available, but it's you have the number 1 cable provider and the number 2 cable provider.
Oh, you mean like our government?
It
there is no number 2 cable provider.
Right, because they all are ultimately owned by the same company. And
Right.
then they were talking about how Comcast, and I'm trying to remember who the second one is because they're such a
AT&T?
big but they were trying to buy each other, and they had to go all the way to Supreme Court
Oh,
to
yeah.
see if they would even allow it to go.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
then they were like, no, you can't. So then like, oh, well, this company number 2 will buy company number 3.
Right.
And it's just like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
how is that even allowed? And then they throttle things like speed
Yep.
and put data caps,
Yep.
which doesn't make any sense whatsoever whenever you really
No.
think
Except
about
just making money.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that's what made me mad is that, look, I get it. Like with every internet I've ever had, like right before your bill is due, it slows down a little bit. Fine, whatever. But I have never had a $45 like utility bill. It's supposed to be $45 every month. Have a data cap that now goes up to 4 times what my bill is supposed
Oh,
to
yeah.
be. And I told the lady, I'm like, look, I know this is your job, and I'm sorry that I'm cussing at you and yelling at you,
But fuck you.
Yeah.
fuck this shit. That is so fucked up. I have 4 adults living in this house. I'm in school that has streaming classes. And I have a 3-year-old in my house that needs her Disney Plus. Like, I should be able to use my internet for everything I need it to work for and not have to pay you 4 times what I'm supposed to pay you for any of this stuff to work. That is unfucking believable.
In this day and age,
And it was like 100 gigabytes. If you went over 100 gigabytes, they would charge you for
That's
it.
pretty easy to do.
What?
And with 4
I
adults
could do that in a day.
yeah,
right.
it was crazy.
in 2020, the need for internet has become quite a necessity.
It is, yes. It's not a
especially
luxury,
like the deeper you want to dig into it, kids. If you're playing
Yep.
single player, won't even let you play unless you're connected
Right.
to the internet, which is kind of bullshit anyway.
But,
But it's just the need for internet has
yeah.
become just as necessary as like having natural gas or having a lot of
mean,
these other things.
And the more it becomes a necessity, it seems like the more they're gouging, these. I mean, the more it becomes necessary, the more they know people are going to pay it.
Well, also they know that their time's almost up.
Yeah.
because it has become a necessity.
So
it
this-
has. It's like it's gonna be
Yeah.
like,
But
well, I
see,
have access to heat.
But it's not. But it's
Yeah.
not. It's not. You're completely wrong on that.
Really?
So yes. So let me say this first. Billy says the Northeast Heights, then Rio Rancho. Not a good track record. Does she even see memes? That's what he said. He's messing with you. So-
I said I missed you, and now I don't.
Okay.
Just
so
kidding.
you posted on Facebook that one of the there's certain things when people post it just makes me groan. What are the other internet providers in the area? Because there aren't any.
Right.
There's and I told you I said exactly what I say to everybody. There are 2.
Yep.
There is your cable company. There is your phone company,
And that's it.
and that's it.
And that's why I was asking what people used in Rio Rancho. Because
Cable. It's that cable one.
that's the one I had.
Is it called
So
Sparklight
it's Sparklight. And then you can also get
now?
CenturyLink now.
Which probably sucks.
And, well, I mean, I'd rather deal with that than...
But it's a one-time price, and it is what
yeah.
it is.
And I heard actually a friend of mine said he hated them when he lived in Albuquerque, but when he moved to Rio Rancho, it was great.
So it all depends. So it all depends. Here's and this is gonna be fucking technical nerd shit.
I
to
love
the
it.
yin-yang. So it all depends on who owns the lines.
Yep.
And I live in downtown Albuquerque, and I had to fight with them on the phone just to get internet to my apartment that is in the middle of a metropolitan city.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the Albuquerque metro
And they're like,
area
well,
for
we don't
sure,
have internet there. I'm
bullseye.
like, you don't have internet in the fucking middle of Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You're
Right.
crazy. I had to fight with them on the phone. Not long. But here's the funny thing. I'm the only one of these people who has Comcast in all these apartments. Why? Because I've had Comcast for 12 years and I paid my bill for 12
Yep.
years. So that's why they sent somebody out here to work for 4 hours to run cable. And then my neighbor's like, how'd you get that? We've tried to get it for, years and
Yep.
they won't. And I'm like, well, you probably didn't pay your fucking bill on time.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? Which just sucks. I mean, that's shitty. But now these apartments have cable. They
Right.
can all get cable all the way down. But here's the other crazy part.
He's
My-
such a good Samaritan.
He really is.
So my parents live in Clovis, New Mexico.
Right.
So when you go for internet, what you really want, there's different kinds. There's copper,
There's fiber.
there's fiber. Fiber's what you want.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you know what fiber's made out of? Glass.
Yeah.
What runs through glass?
Light.
How fast is that?
Fast.
Yeah.
The
You
speed
want
of
the
light.
actual-
So the only thing that limits that is the technology on either side.
Right.
But once the lines are there, the
They're
lines
there.
don't ever need to be moved.
Right.
You just upgrade the technology on each side. So my parents live in Clovis, and it's a rural town. You know, this is 40,000 people. So they're like using CenturyLink, and CenturyLink is like 3 megs or 7 megs or some shit. We tried to do 10 ring minimum shows there. Oh, it was awful. And then my friend comes over and he goes, "Why don't you switch to the local telephone co-op? They're putting in fiber." And I'm like, "Are you shitting me?" And he goes, "Yeah." And sure enough, we put their address in, and it came right up to their box.
That's
Like I have
amazing.
I have like 300. I
Right.
pay like
That's
$100. You know?
amazing.
And I'm like, so out in your area, CenturyLink is putting in fiber places, so
Yep.
they might, being in an area where it's new.
Yep.
You might have fiber. I mean,
Well,
that was,
and so my friends all said that they hated them in Albuquerque, which, as I did, I hated CenturyLink when I had them. Sorry, CenturyLink. But then they said now that they're out in Rio Rancho, it works great. It's super
Yeah.
fast. So I'm hoping that's the case, because if it is as slow as Sparklight was, I will set fire to all the cable providers.
yeah, right.
Like, it just drives me crazy. So I do programming for school, okay? And this is also going to be like some
Webcam
nerd
show.
bullshit. But what would drive me crazy is that I would be working on some code and my cells wouldn't run. I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes for all those cells to run, and it would time out so many times. And that's when I started to lose it. Like, if
Yeah.
I can't do what I need to do,
Well,
I don't want to pay
And
$200
and
for
the thing
it.
that's fucked up is, like, we live in the United States and we think that we're like technologically advanced. If you go to South Korea, 100 megs of internet is like dial up for them. It's like the slowest
Yep.
shit ever because they have such an amazing. I mean, I get it's way smaller, but their infrastructure is so much more advanced than ours is. And here, it's just like it's all about profit. Like, if they don't
Yep.
have to upgrade it, why the fuck would they?
So
True.
up north, there's in the same documentary that I was watching about the ISPs. There's a city who decided to take a step.
There's a lot of these, yeah.
Yeah, and they ended up making their own ISP.
Yep.
So imagine if
Wow.
Albuquerque decided to make their own city of Albuquerque and
Yeah.
a service provider.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they're not gonna
Like the water
They're
company.
not going to throttle it for speed.
Right.
They're not going to pull all this bullshit because it's a utility and it's going to be maintained by
Yep.
the city.
Yeah.
And this the city that did this, they have one of the fastest internets in the entire country.
Oh yeah,
And
That's great.
and it's run like literally
And
these
then
guys
it's
like walking.
fair.
Yeah, and like other counties, other people around their area like want to get in it, and like, well, because of our utility rights, like we can't open it up just yet, but they're like working on it, and they have the capability to bring more people in, but because of these big organizations, like they're already being like held up on like trying to get that stuff, and it's just crazy how
did they
these-
talk about Google at all?
Google Fiber?
Yeah.
They
Well,
did.
there's like areas, and they like will shoot down like Wi-Fi internet
Oh, yeah.
for rural areas.
I've
yeah,
seen
it's,
that.
yeah. I was watching,
Really?
and it sounds the stupidest thing.
It sounds crazy, but
but
if you've
that's a
ever
thing
lived
that
in a
sounds
rural
very-
area.
Tinfoil hatty, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
So when you said that they
So, I mean,
want
they
to
have
make
weather
it,
balloons. You know, go ahead.
so when you're talking about making a utility, here's the thing. My family is on a very fixed budget, okay? We are super not rich. Like, we're almost exactly the opposite. And so I was thinking about it, and I'm like, what if our daughter was in homeschool? And,
Yeah.
I can't afford these outrageous fucking things. So right now, I don't have internet, whatever. I'll go to the library and do my homework, whatever. But, what if we're homeschooling our kid? What if, also, there's a lot of medical devices that now also run and use Wi-Fi and things like that. It is kind of becoming a utility
So,
if you think about
when
it.
did your internet go down?
Thursday,
When is it going to be hooked back up?
Tuesday.
Jeez, you're going to be behind on all the porn trends.
I
You're
know.
not even going to know what's going on, man.
I use my hotspot for that, Chris. Come
You're
on.
not even going to know what's going on.
She still has a cell phone.
I still have a cell
She's going to be like,
phone.
where's the taxis? And I'll be all, taxis? God, man, that's old,
It
man.
does feel weird. So Danny has, she's so used to like being able to watch all her things, like, because she's 3. That's her
Yeah.
priority in life.
Sure.
And so we've had to dig out the Blu-rays, which we haven't even pulled out of the boxes from moving because why would you?
Oh, yeah.
And she was just like, ugh, we have to do this.
Right.
And we're like, okay, privilege. Like, come on. But then we were like, what are we even going to watch? And we have the most impressive collection of Blu-rays because Crystal and her boyfriend are like nerds about it. Like,
I was
they
gonna
buy
say,
all
we're
of them.
poor, but look at all these Blu-rays we
Yeah,
have
no. Crystal and her boyfriend collect Blu-rays,
Yeah.
and they always go and get them when they're on sale, and they have like the special edition
Okay.
like covers. And anyway,
That's normal.
I-
Okay.
it's not normal. It's a lot. So we have so many things to choose from, and here we are going like, well, what are we gonna even watch?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do without the internet? Even
How are
it
we
has
gonna-
been
How are we going
eye-opening.
to watch something while staring at our phone?
I have done more workouts since my internet went down than I have in
Wow.
weeks because I don't have anything to do.
Yeah. We're going to be way behind on the trends.
I know. Guys. Who's president right now? I don't even know. Has
You're
he
all, is
tweeted?
that porn guy going to show up with a pizza? Jesus Christ, Holly, how behind are you? I haven't done that for a long time.
Is that a hole in his pizza box
Right.
or?
Right.
One of the things you were talking about is going to the library. Hopefully, not to watch your porn trends, but growing up in this small town where I grew up, we had one library in Carlsbad, and I grew up pretty far outside of town. We
Yeah.
don't have public transit. Like for a lot of these people growing up in these smaller
Yeah.
cities, like you just don't have access. Like
No,
if,
Right.
if you didn't have internet at your house,
When I moved to Estancia, my ex-husband had never had internet
Oh,
because
damn.
same thing. Rural, a lot of people didn't have internet.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
and I mean, at that point, you probably introduced him to fire. Even
I know. Well, I
just-
mean,
So I remember when I worked for.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no! I remember when I worked for America Online.
Oh my
oh
gosh.
my God.
If that-
Are they
I-
even a thing anymore?
Yes.
Okay.
Still. So one of the things we try to sell people is if they lived you'd go to look up high-speed internet in their area,
Yeah.
and if they lived in a rural area, then it was like HughesNet,
Oh yeah, HughesNet.
and it was fucking expensive.
Wasn't
then-
that with like a satellite or something?
And I sold one, and it was like 100. It was like, fuck, what was it? It was like 10 megs down,
Oh my gosh.
but then like 0.2 up.
Up.
It was terrible.
Wow.
And it would be like $800 for the initial setup.
And that's probably why people in like smaller rural areas just never
Yeah.
got internet because, again, accessibility.
Right.
So if we make it like a utility, then I think even people
Yeah.
in rural areas would have
Well,
better
it's-
access. And
It's
if you
getting there.
It's
And-
getting there.
CenturyLink is getting there.
and if you think about it, the importance of access, especially in those areas, they could do online school. They can do,
Yeah.
I mean, so many different things that are so important that you don't realize is a
Yeah.
thing until, you don't
Well,
have it for 4 days.
So they're all getting subsidies, like that rural co-op that gives my mom 1,000 megs.
Mm.
That's all country. That's like for the country. It's all fiber
Yeah.
optic.
Right.
Because digging a trench for like 8 miles straight isn't a big deal,
Right.
and laying it down. Now going into like a city and disrupting all
Digging
of
up the road
traffic and
and-
all that shit, that's a whole nother level. So Billy says,
Yeah.
Carlsbad, saber-tooth cavity, BPW.
I know of saber-tooth cavity. I don't
Yeah.
know what BPW
Okay.
was. But saber-tooth cavity was
Yeah.
a band of
Oh.
miscreants from the area.
Okay.
But Chris Kirby, their drummer, I used
Oh.
to work with
Kirby!
him.
Oh, Kirby.
Yeah.
He's from Carlsbad?
Yeah, I used to. Well, actually, if I'm not mistaken, I actually think that he was from Loving, or like the little
Oh.
town south. But I used to work with him at Little Caesars,
Yeah.
way back in the day.
So there was a lot of like rock shows there, and Billy was really big in Carlsbad. His band Weapons of Mass Destruction.
Okay.
Is what if I'm saying this right, Billy will correct me in the chat if I'm incorrect. But like there was a contingent from like Carlsbad that were like really into like his stuff.
Really?
So yeah, it was kind of fun. I assume that's how he knows. Yeah.
Yeah, those concerts, it seemed like it was like a pretty big scene, but
Yeah.
I felt that maybe it only felt that way because I was working with a bunch of them. Because like, I feel like half of the employees at that restaurant were all in like some band, and I don't even actually know if Sabretooth Cavity started in Carlsbad or if the members were from there and then like.
Is that the name of the band? Was Sabretooth Cavity?
Yeah, Sabretooth Cavity. But I have a couple LPs that I
Billy
bought from them, and
Billy
like,
said I was exactly right.
yeah.
See, I listen sometimes. Oh, speaking of music. So this last week there was a big thing going on the internet. Ray and I both were kind of involved. So one of my bucket list bands of life, talk about the cartel beheading? I'm not going to talk about that. So
What?
one of the bucket list bands I've wanted to see in my entire life is
talk
Rage
later.
Against the Machine. Right? So Rage Against the Machine.
Right.
Tickets went on sale on Thursday.
Ooh,
Now,
I
when
have thoughts.
Okay, and I'm here to like. Okay, first and foremost, do I think the tickets were cheap? No.
Right.
Now, do I think people flipping out over what happened is wrong? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because like, okay, I don't think people know exactly what happened. So first and foremost, when I went on to get my tickets, it made me sign in, and then I actually had to leave work to go sign in because it made me sign in from my phone as well. I had to do both.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
just to make sure I wasn't a bot.
Okay.
So I get into the room and I'm going to buy my tickets, and it's like, you're 3004 in line. I'm like, shit. And I was on there right away.
Yeah.
So to tell everyone what happened, all of the tickets were $125 no matter where you were. So when you're logging in to the Ticketmaster thing, it had buy tickets, sell tickets. So what was happening was people immediately went and bought
Buying,
tickets
selling.
and then flipped and went and sold them.
Here's my thoughts.
And that's Ticketmaster's fault.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's
Not
my
Rage Against the
thoughts.
Machine.
Here's my thoughts. People flipped out.
Yeah.
And I saw what was happening. I
Yeah.
knew what was happening.
Yeah.
That's not my problem. My
Okay.
problem is Ticketmaster has been a shady company
Oh, shit,
for
yeah.
a long time. And it's not like Rage Against the Machine didn't know that. It's not like any of the promoters didn't know that. It's not like
But it's
anybody-
not their. Rage Against the Machine can't choose whether Ticketmaster does.
I
it.
mean,
Right.
I feel like there are other ways to sell your tickets.
There's a good
But
possibility, though, and I don't know this for a fact, but there's a good possibility there's not another ticket company that would have been sustainable enough to
Right.
even get those tickets out there without completely crashing the
Right.
second
Yeah,
tickets went
I mean
on sale.
that's fair, but
Yeah.
also like I think now is the time that we should stand up against Ticketmaster.
We tried that in the 90s.
Yeah, we did.
Eddie Vedder.
And was
Pearl
it
Jam.
with Rage Against the Machines? No, just kidding.
It was Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Pearl Jam tried to do no Ticketmaster shows.
I feel like it's so ridiculous, and I understand why people were frustrated. I
Yeah.
totally understand why people were
Yeah.
frustrated. Is it Rage Against the Machine's fault? No,
No.
absolutely not.
No.
But
Because
Ticketmaster.
most of that money is going to
All of the money is. All the money
Yeah.
they make is.
Yeah.
But I think it's really shitty
Yeah.
and really fucked up that people took something that was a nice gesture
Uh-huh.
and turned it into a thing like that.
Right.
And I think maybe like if it's a charity show, maybe Ticketmaster shouldn't allow people to sell tickets.
Absolutely. Thank
And
you.
that's
Ding,
what I'm
ding,
saying.
Ding, ding,
there's,
ding.
there's the problem is
Yes.
with Ticketmaster, and everybody knows that Ticketmaster is shady and all this stuff. And I think from now on, if artists are trying to raise money for a charity, they should tell Ticketmaster, "Hey, I don't want people to be able to sell tickets."
I agree with that.
Because I just think that is so disgusting.
Yeah. It is.
People are making money off of somebody trying to like raise money for a great cause, and it's
Yeah.
taking away from the cause
Okay.
also. But I mean, I saw a lot of really funny jokes that
Yeah.
I thought were good.
Well,
Somebody was like, Rage Against the Machines was, I don't know. It's like now Rage Against the Machines fans can't afford Rage Against the Machines tickets.
But they did real quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
we
sure.
went in there and got them fast, but there's people that are trying to say that, you can go fight capitalism by spending $400 for Rage Against the Machine tickets. Like, well, no, like get in line like everybody else did, get them regular, and then if you want to try to buy them 4 days later, of course you're gonna pay.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but it's just I think there's an outrage, but I don't think it was Rage's fault.
Okay, here's the deal. I get it that the $125 tickets were a little too much. But let me tell you something. Rage Against the Machine with Run the Jewels opening, you're actually paying.
I mean, it's a great show. $125 is understandable. Yeah. I didn't think that was too expensive. Okay. But
there's a lot of people that did.
Yeah.
And I mean, those are the people who don't understand inflation.
Or you don't like them that much.
Yeah. Or they don't understand inflation. Okay. First of all, the tickets you bought when Rage Against the Machine was popular. All right, not that they're not popular, but you know what I'm saying, in their heyday.
Yeah.
Those tickets probably felt expensive then too. But you just didn't notice.
Right.
And now you're an adult and you're working hard or you're not working hard and you're not making the money to afford $125 a ticket. That's your problem.
Right.
I don't think that's unreasonable considering where the money's going.
Does Rage Against the Machine tour every year?
No.
Fuck no, they don't.
It's like a limited edition, whatever. Also, if you knew this was coming, you knew what was happening, why didn't you save the money? If I am poor as fuck, but I still manage to do the things that I really want to do because I save up.
Let me also call out Albuquerque a little bit. When everybody's like, whenever it's a fucking major act coming through and it costs more than $20,
they don't go.
Everybody shits the fucking bed and they don't go.
Oh,
or they buy the $20 fucking lawn seat. And when the Prophets of Rage came through, they had a show set up at Isleta Amphitheater. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, after the first week, it was canceled, and they moved it to El Paso.
Yep, because nobody buys the tickets.
I was pissed, and I asked someone in the industry. I said, "What happened?" And they said, "We sold a shitload of lawn seats.
Yep.
Nobody bought seats.
Yep.
And they went, fuck that. Moved to El Paso, sold out. Boom. And everybody's like, oh, well, big bands don't come here because no one wants to fucking pay any money.
Again, it comes down to save your money. And also, let me just say, I hate to always bring this up, but
I've never spent more than $70 on a ticket in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But let me just say this. It's not even just the expensive tickets. Let me be honest with you. Anytime I have a show that all my friends are so excited for, if the tickets are more than $5, they don't come.
Or if they're $5.
Or if they're $5.
Oh, it's not free to get in?
And the thing is, and then they call me and say, hey, so obviously they're not busy. Obviously they have nothing going on because they ask me for free tickets and I have stopped doing it.
Yeah.
I will not give you free tickets any fucking more because I support you. When you've bartended, I go and give you tips. When you've had a show, when you've had a baby shower, when you've had a wedding, I have bought gifts for all those things. You can't spend $5 to go see. I mean, it's unreal.
Right.
Albuquerque's wild because, we had Peter on last week. United sells out.
Yeah.
It's packed. WWE comes to town and they can't even fill the pit.
No.
And it's like, what the fuck? WWE's huge. There's a huge wrestling.
And they'll stop coming here. They won't come back.
Because it's almost like Albuquerque has a chip on its shoulder.
Well, we're just cheap. We're poor and we're cheap.
Yeah.
We're poor and we're cheap. And I've been there. I get that. But it's like, man, sometimes it's like, when I heard Rage Against the Machine was getting back together, the last time they played was a one-stop show in L.A.
Yeah.
And I had friends that bought tickets and flew there and saw them. And I'm like, how much did that cost? And so this time people are like, well, I will not be going because it's over $40. Someone said literally, I would pay $40 to him.
That's dumb.
Do you know how fast the tickets would have sold for $40 fucking dollars?
Well, and I have some friends that are in the music industry. They've worked with really big names and stuff. And he posted a thing yesterday that, he was commenting on every person who posted a complaint. He was like, but it's still sold out, huh?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's not like Rage
you can't give it away for free.
Yeah. Rage Against the Machine doesn't show up early in the morning, start setting up the scaffolding, start setting up all of the equipment, getting all the lighting ready. They have a whole fucking team of people for that.
Yeah.
And not only that, and then the other bullshit complaint that I saw was people like, well, it's not just these shows. They're also doing a whole thing of festivals. So fucking what?
Well,
They're
yeah.
making money.
Quality entertainment costs money. I spend as much on Rage Against the Machine tickets as I spent to go watch the Book of Mormon at Pope Joy. And as like it's a Broadway play, it's a very different thing, but still, it's just
And it's
like
time and preparation and all the things.
it's
All the
quality
things.
entertainment
Yeah.
is what it comes down to. It's like I'm not going to pay $130 to go to the Albuquerque Little Theater and watch Shrek live, but like I would pay that money to go see Rage Against the Machine run the Jewels. Like,
Yeah.
how could you say that's like too much money? Maybe
Yeah.
it's too much money for like your budget, but that doesn't mean it's not worth it.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? And when they they could break up again next year, never do another
They could,
show.
Yeah.
they could break up again halfway
could-
through this tour.
You know,
Yes.
something could happen to one of them. Like, you don't know.
Yeah.
But I was a little disappointed. So here's the deal. I understand people being mad. I understand people being mad about, people buying these tickets for a charity thing and then profiting off of it. I
Yes.
understand
that they needed to stop.
But it's not Rage Against the Machine's fault. I understand, like, the Ticketmaster thing. I think that was the only complaint I saw that was valid, is just, like, I'm mad that they had to go through Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
Fine.
What if let me ask you this. If someone had tickets for $125 now, would you buy them?
I wouldn't personally, because I didn't save up for it. You know what I mean? Like, you have to do what's best for your family, but I also wasn't on Facebook complaining about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, again, if you really want to go do something, then save up the money.
Well, I'm saying I know somebody who has
Oh.
2 tickets for $125.
I mean, unfortunately,
Yeah.
my
I
family.
know a guy
Yeah.
who has 2 extra tickets.
Unfortunately, the position my family is in right now, not
should-
going to happen,
Yeah.
but I'm also not bitching about it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, but if I had the money,
Yeah.
for sure, I would eat ramen for 2 weeks to go watch it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's like you guys are talking about sports again.
I know.
You don't like
He's
Rage Against the
I
Machine?
am aware of the band.
Yeah.
I couldn't name a single song.
What
Oh
about
my
Run the
God.
Jewels?
What's that?
What about Run the Jewels?
Killer Mike, LP?
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
You're just
Can I
making
have-
up names.
Can I have another one?
Yeah.
Jesus. Or no, either way. All I'm saying is, I know a guy who's sitting in this room who has 2 extra tickets to Rage Against the Machine.
It's not me. Hint,
So Ray and I are going. Ray and I are
Yeah.
going to the show.
I
Ray
wish
got
I
his
could.
Ray got his own tickets.
Yes.
I'm
Um,
We're in the
so
same
with you.
section as Chris.
We are in the same section.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just a
I
couple
have
rows away.
I have 4 seats
Wow.
to
So-
Rage Against the Machine.
I mean, I wish I could, but again, that's like
Should
the
I
whole
find
thing.
out who this band is?
You should.
Yes, you should.
Should I?
Yeah.
You've never heard the name Rage Against the
Right.
Machine.
You're only 15 years too late, or actually much longer.
like 25
years.
years.
25.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was a Pixies fan. It was kind of
oh,
different.
I like the
genre.
Pixies.
I
But
had a
you
different
know,
90s than y'all.
like I said, it's like you know, if you can't afford it because you haven't made good choices, that is your problem.
Oh, I made a poor choice, but I'm still,
no, but you know what I'm saying is like
I
if you
know.
really,
No.
how long have we known these tickets were going to go on sale?
Right, long time.
You knew they weren't going to be
And-
less than $100.
And
Period.
I said exactly. I did exactly what I said I was going to do. I said if they're not insane, I will buy as many tickets as they let me
yeah.
to sell to my friends because not everyone can get online and can
Right.
blast through.
Right.
So I went on and they were $125 a pop, and I immediately hit 4 and I went buy.
Yeah.
So I have 4 seats now.
Wow.
I have one for me, I have one for another friend, and then I have 2 extra. Now, I'll sell them for $125
I mean,
a
let's
piece.
see how quick our tax return comes in, and if
Yeah,
that comes
yeah,
in,
what-
I'm
what is
down.
this?
Return comes in right away.
Another,
I'm down.
Another thing that really bugs me about the people that are complaining is I'm a really big Rage Against the Machine fan, and I'm a
Totally.
really big Run the Jewels fan.
Right.
Yes.
Whenever I saw what they were doing, they come back to her, I was like, well, maybe I'll go. Because
Right.
I was
big
in.
concert experiences for me are a little stressful, even though it's like
'Cause you're a big
bucket
guy.
list. Yeah,
I know.
There's so many just like people and things, but
It's
I was
very
also-
people-y.
I went and I looked at the pre-sale tickets. And they were like $350, like what the price of people.
Yeah, but those are all bullshit.
Exactly, and that's why I was like, well, I'm not going to pay that, whatever. And so it was really kind of just like, well, we'll just check in and see how much they cost, but just to make sure. Right at 11 o'clock on
Yep.
Thursday, we were in the queue to check it out
Yep.
and buy them. And it was just like, if you weren't there for it. That's unfortunate
Yep.
for you, but it
You
just
know.
you can't now go to the internet. Well, you can.
Well, and
because
you
it's
can't
America,
rage against
but-
Rage Against the Machines. Like, here's the deal. Like, I also made a joke. I said it's an outrage. I did make that one comment, but it was on a comedian's joke. And it was like he was making a pun on rage. And I was like, it's an outrage. Anyway. So I think it just bothered me that people were automatically like really mad at Rage. And I was just like, look, here's the deal. If you've ever been in entertainment, you know that they have very little control over how much they're charging.
And
the
even-
other thing
and-
is,
and
like
Tom
you
Morello
said.
came out and he apologized and he
Oh
said,
yeah, I mean, and you know, like Chris said, it was like, they're paying all these people they haven't played in years. That's a lot of time and effort and people, and I don't know. I wasn't mad. I was just kind of like, oh well, that sucks.
Thanks.
But I do think the people who went and bought tickets right away and then turn around and sold them like that,
well, those are pieces of shit.
they are disgusting, and it's
They're
awful.
all those are all scalpers, and they were frothing at the
Profiteers.
mouth, waiting for it.
Because they knew people wanted to go
Yes.
to this show.
And if someone's like, well, how can they done it? And like Valeria was saying, well, you did see that like you can't pick up your tickets for like 10 days, or they're not going to release for like 10 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop scalp. There's
No.
always a way around it.
Well,
Yeah.
and if you think about it, those scalpers are taking money out of this charity because that
Yeah.
money, the double, triple, whatever the tickets are, that's not going to that
See?
charity.
Yeah,
it's
see,
going
that's
in
messed
someone's
up.
pocket.
That's the
That is
messed up part.
disgusting.
What they should have done is sold all the tickets for $125.
Yep. And not let people do that.
And then the only way to get the ticket is to show up to Will Call at the show and pick it up.
Yeah.
But I don't know how, like, someone could sell it and send you the Will Call pickup. But if if it's not your name, you shouldn't be able to pick it up.
Well,
Right.
I mean, I'm okay. Here's the thing. I'm okay with people who like last minute are like, I can't go to the show.
Yeah.
I'll sell it to you at a fair price.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh,
But
yeah, that negates that.
but
Yeah. That's true.
the fact that they had a button that was like buy or sell.
Yes.
Fuck you, Ticketmaster.
And they did. And someone tried
That's
to tell me that they didn't.
disgusting.
And I said bullshit because I was like, wait, sell?
Yeah.
That's
What?
disgusting. And that's why now the seats are up to like $1,000
Oh,
a piece
yeah.
because these people know that people are desperate for it and they'll do it. They'll buy it. That's the other thing. People outside of Albuquerque for sure will pay it.
Didn't floor seats sell out in like 20 seconds?
Yes.
20 seconds.
Yeah.
20 fucking seconds. I knew it would. I thought the concert would sell out faster than it did.
Yeah.
I think the only reason it
Especially
didn't.
for $125 a pop.
Right. I think the only reason it didn't is because they had that queue.
Well, yeah, Valeria was in queue right at 11 o'clock. 1,500 people ahead of her.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you said you got in there and you had like 3,000.
I got in there 10 minutes before.
Yeah.
And they were like, you're 3,005. And I got like the section like a little below yours.
Yeah.
I got the same section, but like maybe 5 rows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. I am more mad about
Yeah.
My Chemical Romance. And let me tell you why.
Yuck.
What's their cost?
Oh, it wasn't like Rage Against the Machines where you had so many people
Here's a
people
band
were
I actually know.
and people were like buying and scalping the tickets and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't like this. What happened is My Chemical Romance announces they're coming back. Crystal and I looked at
Yeah.
the tickets because not gonna lie, we're emo kids at heart. $350 a ticket for shitty fucking seats,
Yikes.
and we were like, "Fuck no, fuck you,
That's
we're not
insane.
doing it."
Are you-
It was
well,
insane.
Hold on. Have they already gone on sale?
Yeah.
Oh, they have already
Oh,
gone
yeah.
on sale.
Yeah.
Then that's crazy.
It was
yeah.
it was
That's fucked
crazy.
up. That's fucked
and
up.
we were like, "Oh, we're not fucking paying that.
No,
like
fuck
absolutely
no.
not paying that." And then, but then if you look at, we really wanted to go to the Misfits reunion with Danzig and all that stuff. To us, that would have been worth $350. We don't know if we'll ever see
Have you
that
seen
again.
the super tour that's going around this summer?
No.
You haven't heard it? It's 3 bands.
No.
One I don't really care too much about, but the other 2, it's Weezer, Fall Out Boy, Green Day.
Oh my
One
God.
Oh my God, that's
One
a
show.
And that's the 2000s in a nutshell.
Oh my God. If I had the money, again, I would pay top dollar for that show.
Yeah.
Because that's like an experience. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But, it's
I've
like
seen all 3 of them, but at the same
same
time.
time? That's
That would be pretty
insane.
amazing.
Yeah.
But so Crystal and I were looking into buying the Misfits ticket. It's like one
Oh, yeah.
show. It's not like a tour. It's
Right.
one show. Danzig is
Is
back.
this the one that was at Riot Fest? Is this
Yes.
year or has this already happened?
It was this year.
Yeah, it was
I
Riot
think
Fest.
maybe they do it like once a year or something like that. But they have
Denver, right?
Danzig, yes.
Yeah.
They have Danzig. They have the Misfits this year. They had the Distillers. Like,
Yes.
to us, that was worth money. We had saved up and we couldn't get tickets. We had saved up.
Yeah.
And when we hit it, it was already sold out. But that would have been worth it.
Yeah.
And we were able to save up. But
Well, it's like it was back in the old days. I mean, before the internet
Yeah.
shit. I mean, people still went and bought all the tickets up
Oh,
and
yeah.
then scalped the shit
they would
out
go
of
to
them.
the Ticketmaster line and buy them
Yeah.
up physically.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, but
Fuck
also
Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
Ticketmaster is
Ticketmaster.
the problem. It's not Rage
That's
Against
why.
the Machines.
That's why, honestly, like, and maybe we should end on this. Why I like the one thing about Albuquerque shows is this guy created a thing called Hold My Ticket.
Yes,
And Hold My Ticket is awesome.
I love Hold My Ticket.
And he sold it, and I think he's like really wealthy from it.
Isn't he from
Good for
here?
him.
Yeah, no, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's in the band Supergiant.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. And
And
So-
that place is great.
Yeah.
That
well now
Whatever.
the owner of
great.
Hold My Ticket is one of the owners of Founders.
oh
Yeah. And so I love Hold My Ticket, man. It's so
great.
It works great.
Destiny Wrestling used them all the time.
Yeah.
And they did
Yeah.
great for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, we need more of that.
yeah.
Less, but I mean, the thing with a national tour, you can't do a local ticket.
You
company.
can't.
No.
You have to use whatever the national touring people. are
Anyway, I'm
using.
going to Rage Against the Machine, guys. That's the moral
Yeah.
of the story. I'm going to be at the show. Fuck you if you won't do what you tell me.
Yeah.
Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
It's gonna be great.
It's going to be amazing.
I get none of these references.
Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Love it. Those who died are justified. I love that Rage Against Vanessa Carlton. Is
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, that's great.
Fuck you, motherfucker! I love that part. Yeah. So, anybody have anything to promote as we finish this show?
Tomorrow night, as every Monday, I have my open mic at Founders, which we have given a lot of love to tonight.
Yeah.
Because they're great. We love them. The Nuggets will all be there. And so sign up if you want to do comedy. We've had a lot of new people wanting to do it. It's you come and you sign up starting at 8 o'clock
Yep.
and the show starts at 9.
It's good. It's actually a really good comedy night. I mean, it's funny because I feel like it's become such a pressure cooker of a show that you're not getting these people that are like they're getting pressured not to do it that are kind of like rough.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, the last few weeks we've had great audiences. I'm really grateful for the people who are coming out and letting us work out our material and really embracing what it is. And I think that causes a little bit of pressure for people who are not doing so great. But also, Royal and I will kind of call you out if you're doing the same bullshit every week.
Or if you take a number 2 in the bathroom.
Oh, well, yeah, that's not allowed.
No.
That is a rule at our open mic. We open it by saying we only have one rule at our open mic. You can cuss, you can tell any kind of material you want, but do not shit in that bathroom.
Oh, dude, it stinks up the whole place.
It stinks up the whole place, and the comedians, we will kill you.
They did. This dude took a shit in there, and then he said the N-word.
Yep.
And he wasn't black. And they were like, "Man, you drove in from Phoenix, right?" Like Zach and Beta called him out. "You drove in from Phoenix, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Cool. Did you come in here? Did you drive all the way from Phoenix to drop an N-bomb and then a number 2 in the bathroom and then stink up the open mic?"
Oh, yeah.
The dude got so embarrassed he left.
We have one rule. I mean, also we don't like racist bullshit. We don't like rape stuff. We want women to feel comfortable. We want everybody. We don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable there, and that includes like not feeling like you're gonna get pink eye by the end of the night. But it's a really fun
Right.
time.
Fair.
You guys can come, and I always post the password on my Instagram, which is at Hollybird Comedy. On Monday morning, we make up our password. I'm just waiting for the day that Buck takes away that privilege from us because
Right.
our passwords get weird. So
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. It's all Brandon, isn't it, Brandon? I
no,
thought it was
it's all of us. Like it rotates. Like we all kind of talk about it, and then usually we all have an idea, and then whoever's is the best. Brandon has been winning a lot though.
Brandon. Oh, okay.
So
Ray, do you have anything coming up?
Yeah, so you can continue to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat under Ray Basura. I have been doing a lot more art now that I quit wrestling, so you can find my art page as Basura Paint on Instagram and on Facebook. But that's been mostly it. I also want to make sure to take an opportunity to really thank the people at Los Primos Mexican
they were
Grill.
so good.
Oh, for sure.
They provided
Yes.
the tacos in our first hour that we got to try out. And I don't know if I had said it earlier, but they actually close at 5 o'clock on Sundays, but they decided to stay open just a little later so we could have the freshest tacos for tonight.
That's
and
amazing.
I really appreciate
They were
them
delicious.
taking that time. And it's an amazing spot. They have breakfast, lunch, all the good Mexican comfort food that you'd be looking for, but open 7 days a week on Manal. The family that owns it is amazing. Those owners are great people. They even went out and got a cooler specifically to keep our stuff nice and warm
Yeah.
for
That's
for
so
living out there.
cute.
But I just want to make sure to thank them again for helping us out
Aw.
today.
Aw.
Smiley, what do you got?
You can watch me on second season of Midnight Texas, streaming on Hulu and the NBC app. Currently, you can see me every Thursday on Fox on the TV show Deputy. And upcoming things, I will be in a Zack Snyder zombie movie, Army of the Dead. And if you want to see me more zombie stuff, I'm also in Daybreak on Netflix.
Nice.
Very cool.
Oh, Chris, can I say one more thing that
No.
I forgot to mention? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I also just, if you see this sweatshirt that I'm wearing,
Yes.
and, it's really, really cool. And if you're listening to the podcast, like, you should look on Instagram. I'll have pictures of it. Ming Chen and
Shared
a Shared
Universe.
Universe sent me a hoodie that is like gold. It looks like gold plated. And it has a little microphone on the back too. If you guys want one of these hoodies, it is so soft and so comfortable. It is definitely worth I think it's $40.
Oh, wow. Thanks,
And-
Ming.
Yeah.
And do you want
That's Rage Against fucking Shared Universe.
do
right
you
there.
want a cropped hoodie, Chris? Because I'm pretty sure he
I-
would send you one if you wanted
I'll
it.
wear a cropped hoodie.
yeah.
But anyway, if you want any of their apparel, Ming Chen does a really good job. I don't know if it's him that does it, but all of his stuff I bought one from his Houston place,
Coral Sword.
Coral Sword. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
And that shirt is super soft, but this is the cutest, like most comfy hoodie I've ever had. So thank you, Ming. I feel like this is my early birthday present. So for sure, check out their apparel. It's really cute.
I mean, I have a hat. Had to buy it. It's, I guess I'm just trash.
Oh my god.
You're such
Are you-
trash.
Are you poor, Chris?
No.
Like
No,
I
I'm
think
not.
Ming was just like, you look cold. Here, have a sweater.
So I have an announcement.
Uh-oh.
We're going to change the show a little bit.
Oh no.
Am I getting fired?
Am I
No.
getting fired?
No.
You had to think about that. That
Nothing more.
scared me.
It has nothing to do with Holly
No. Or me.
or Ray.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Finger's still up here, though.
Uh-oh.
I bought you something. Ish. We're going to put up a bar right here. And you're going to sit behind it. And if you want, if this is up to you, I'm going to it's a portable one. And it has a thing that goes around it that's cloth, and I'm going to have them put our logo on the front of it.
Cool.
And sometimes we're going to have signature cocktails that you're going to make for us.
Ooh.
I can do that?
What do you think? I mean,
Seriously?
yeah, it's ordered.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it's been ordered. I forgot to tell you. Whoops.
Damn. I will. I'll get my barrels out of storage. I can start making like aged Manhattans and
Exactly.
stuff.
Nice.
And we'll have we'll be like, Smiley's over here making a drink for us today.
Yeah,
we'll
tell
probably
us
move
what's
this
going into
little
We can
can-
have bartender offs.
Could, yeah.
I
We've
mean,
done that before.
Smiley for sure is a better bartender than me. Like, you for sure bartend. Also, like, I don't want to. But we can finally make our Bloody Marys and have a Bloody Mary
So
off.
if we have a guest on the show, we might have a special drink that you
That's so
mix for 'em.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I
I'm
did not
so
know about this.
excited.
And it's a
Wow.
portable bar. It can be
Taken?
it breaks down really quickly. and
Marquise.
can be taken to Road to Riches.
Oh my God, this
Which
is
is
so
coming up.
great.
Yeah.
So the people, May 17th. Actually,
It's not even my birthday yet. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
So Road to Riches, they announced the poster. It was yesterday. Is that when did I post that yesterday,
Yeah.
James? Or you were there too?
Yes.
So let me throw this out there. We go to Road to Riches every year. People ask about it. Ray, I don't know if you're more than welcome. You're invited.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is something you want to go to.
I'm going to actually go this year. So
Okay, but
I'm
but
excited.
are you going by yourself? Or are you going to go with the family?
I think I'm going by myself.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I was going to say if you go with the family, there's the family side.
I don't.
They actually they draw like the picture of the camp actually has us on it now.
I would tell you. I would
awesome.
tell you.
So, and this is
honestly,
Tin Drink
If
Camp.
this is your first year, you should probably not do the family thing.
Yeah, no.
You should
That's-
just do the fun thing.
I was like, so I talked to
Yeah.
Hamster about it as soon as you posted it,
Yeah.
and I was like, look, here's the deal. If you
Yeah.
really want to go, we could take the baby. They
Right.
have a family section, but
Right.
if we do that, I'm gonna be sad.
Yeah.
And not because I hate my child.
No.
It's just I need to let loose and hang out. You guys have noticed that I have
Yeah.
really dedicated. I really have dedicated a lot to Hamster and the kid and all that. So he was like, no, this is what a real partner is. He
Yeah.
goes, here's the deal. How about you go with your friends? You haven't been able to go the last 2 years.
Right.
I want you to be able to go and have fun and not worry about me and not worry about the baby
Yeah.
and
There's
just
a hot
let
balloon.
loose.
Yeah. So they announced they sent out the flyer yesterday. The 27th annual tie dye party. The bands are Wooden Wire, Jackie and the Racket, Lon Kalanka Band, Smelter Mountain Boys, the Hoth Brothers, which I'm excited about, The Deal, Escape on a Horse, Cheese and Friends play John Hartford, and Russell Pyle, who's a Russell
Who's that
James,
guy?
Who's a really good friend of ours.
Yeah, really good
It's
friend.
May 15th through the 15th and 16th.
Oh,
And it's $40 for the weekend, and that includes your ticket and your camping.
that's awesome.
So,
It's going to be so fun.
There's prayer parties. Do they still do breakfast on the second day?
no.
Oh. Are you guys super excited to get wasted and have epic drunkenness with you guys?
At Road to Riches, you're going to be amongst
I'm going to have so
14
much
other people
fun.
right in the row that are doing the
I
same
love
thing.
it.
So, yeah. And then other than that, we have next week's show. We're going to have Amanda from the Red Light Cameras.
I love her so much.
And then the week after that, we're going to have ABQ Brew, which is I don't really know what it is. Like, it was an app. It was like so they're relaunching, and they want to kind of come on and like tell about what their relaunch is. And
Sure.
so that should be cool as well. So
Awesome.
also, if you guys really want this to happen, I can make one text and get this to happen. We could have a cable guy on the show.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I want that to happen. I have
you
so
can't
many
yell at him.
questions.
It's not
I'm
his
not
fault.
going to
Definitely
yell at
gonna
him.
yell at him.
I'm
I don't know
not.
if I'm gonna do that.
I'm not going to yell at him, but I'm going to ask him questions.
Yeah.
I'll wait till the mics are on. But I'll yell at him for sure.
Because I would like to have him come on and tell stories about like crazy shit that's happened to him.
Because I'm sure
Yeah, we
crazy stuff
definitely should.
happens.
Yeah. So I can
I'm
get that
down.
happen. All right. Cool. Well, yeah, definitely check us out at any of our tendrinkminimum.com. We have all of the social media sites. We have, at Tendrink, on Instagram. Twitter is Tendrinkminimum. So add us on there.
Are we also is our beer still at Dialogue?
No,
Oh, sad.
I was there yesterday.
Real sad.
I think
They ran out.
They ran out, and they still don't have a brewer. So
Yeah. I mean, they could.
I know. I'm aware.
Yeah.
I'm just petitioning.
I
I'm just saying.
I had some issues when I was there yesterday. So
Uh-oh.
yeah, not bad. I like the place. still love the place. Still
Everybody
love the
loves
owner,
it.
Yeah,
All right.
but yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being here. What's the place with the tacos?
Los Primos Mexican Grill.
Thank
on
you
Manal.
for those tacos. They were amazing.
you.
So good.
Thank you, Safe House Distilling, for the double white lightning whiskey and the vodka with green chili. With that,
We are 10 Drink Minimum.